not a dull day by any stretch of the imagination. Odell Beckham Jr. still with the Browns, not involved in any type of trade, not expected to be, but some strange things occurring. Odell Beckham's dad's Instagram account, so go figure that one out, posted this saying that Odell is open. And I do have to mention, we have an opening for a producer for Odell Beckham's dad. The spot shadow, the graphic, well done. The point here is you can see open there, not looking, eyes are down, looking on another receiver. And it is going through this pretty substantially as the Browns, Odell Beckham Jr.'s dad, Odell Beckham Sr., his Instagram account, kind of delineating just how often Odell is open multiple times. And we've kind of seen some of that. For whatever reason, Odell Beckham Jr. and Baker Mayfield unable to get on the same page. And in great detail, we see, again, the spot shadow on Odell. And again, we'll take another look, just kind of delineating where the opening is behind the defense and all that. So let's welcome in Mary Kay Cabot, Browns beat reporter for the Plain Dealer, as well as cleveland.com. I tell you, the Odell Sr. has done a great job as far as spot shadowing, and it can break down film. Mary Kay, I guess the question to you is, are the Browns using Odell Beckham Jr. as effectively as they can?
Well, first of all, to set the record straight, Odell Beckham Sr. did not produce the video because that was actually sent to me yesterday as well. And I used it in a post. I used it in a column that I wrote about how Kevin Stefanski is vowing again to get the ball into the hands of Odell Beckham Jr. But as I was saying, it might be a little bit too little, too late. So I did use that post yesterday. The interesting thing is that his dad went ahead and posted that on his own Instagram, which speaks to me and says to me that if his dad is posting that, it indicates that perhaps Odell would have been fine with a trade, would have welcomed a trade. That's what I think. Now, again, I don't know that for sure because I have not talked to Odell about this yet, and it seems like nobody really has. He hasn't really weighed in on it too much, but the trade deadline came and went. He's still a Cleveland Brown. As far as your question about whether or not they're using him right, they're not using him enough. And in terms of using him right, I still think that there's more that they can do. In this past game, for instance, they probably could have tried some reverses, some jet sweeps, some gadget plays, something. You have to get OBJ involved, just like Jarvis Landry. You've got to get OBJ rolling early on like you did in that Dallas game to get his head in the game. When you get his head into the game, then you're going to get the best out of him. But if you start to lose him, then you really lose him. And I think that going forward, if he's still on the team, and again, we don't know for sure because if he's going to be on the team going forward. This was a weird set of circumstances that happened today and over the last few days. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. But if he's still around, then I would think that they've got to find and devise ways to get him involved and get something get some bang for that buck.
Don't you want to get him out in space with the ball in his hands? Isn't that kind of the thing that you try to do with a guy that is dynamic and has the type of playmaking ability?
Yes, that's definitely one thing that you want to do. So some shorter routes where you can rely on his run after catch. And this year, when Baker Mayfield has really kind of been struggling with his accuracy and with the long ball, they keep going for the real sort of downfield things. And those things just aren't really working right now. But actually in that video that, that I had in my story and that we've seen elsewhere, you can see that there are plenty of times that Odell Beckham Jr. is open. And for whatever reason, Baker Mayfield hasn't been really just focusing on him all that much. And I think that is in part because Odell has dropped a few passes this year. And I don't know that Baker 100% trusts him to get the job done all the time. I think he started to want to go to Jarvis Landry a little bit more. That didn't work out so well in the past game because Jarvis, as you know, had one of the worst games I've ever seen him have. So unfortunately, that plan didn't work either. But there are plenty of times where Odell is open and they're not going to him.